It's being billed as a world first. A proposal for a stretching right around the Australian coastline. But already a National Party senator says the coalition would oppose the plan. Environmentalists says it would create a legacy of protection. Commercial fishermen say it would cripple the industry. Here's Environment reporter Connor Duffy.
The wonders of the ocean floor off the West Australian coast give a glimpse of what conservationists are fighting for, and they could be on the verge of a big win. The ABC's obtained an Environment Department proposal for a new national marine network with protection off every state in the country. The Environment Minister says a final decision hasn't been made.
We're looking down the track at possibly the most significant individual step in conservation that Australia has seen.
Ron Boswell says the coalition will review the plan, but is already preparing an armada.
So it is going to be a major fight, and I hope Berg's up for it because he's going to be fighting the fight of his life.
Conservationists say if the government sticks to its guns, it'll lead the world.
This network will be a world first. It will be unprecedented. It will be the first time that a nation has put in place the sort of protection that the science world is saying is needed.
Where conservationists see global leadership, commercial fishermen see the demise of some livelihoods, with boats left idle.
What we're talking about here, and I think people should understand this very clearly, is we're talking about locking fishing out of 35 to 40% of the total economic zone.
Fishermen are questioning the science behind the plan.
These are science-based processes, and they have taken into account trying to minimise the impact on industry, so that's a good outcome. And it is genuinely good that Australia is seen as the world leader.
Brian Jeffries says a number of regional areas will be hit and seafood prices will rise.
Most of the yellowfin and big-eye tuna which is caught in Queensland is sold in Australia itself. In Western Australia there's a range of trawl fish. In Australia now there's a range of prawns.
There's another potential area of conflict in all of this, and it's internal to the government. As the Environment Minister Tony Burke's been preparing the marine network, the Resources Minister Martin Ferguson's been releasing more oil and gas exploration licences. This map, prepared by conservationists, shows the increase in new leases for oil and gas exploration. Conservationists fear allowing gas in places like the Rolly Shoals in northwestern Australia would limit the conservation value of the network.
Some areas are just too special to mine.
The marine network could be announced within weeks. Connor Duffy, ABC News.
Queensland commercial fishermen say the marine sanctuary would bring the industry to its knees. However, environmental groups say it doesn't go far enough, and some of the most vulnerable coral reefs have been overlooked.
For the last 35 years, Paul Williams has made a living fishing off the coast of Queensland, but he fears that could end if the federal government turns the Coral Sea into the world's largest and most protected marine zone.
What we're seeing is, a vast area of the Queensland coast being closed down. We're going to lose resource, which is Australia's resource, and there's a lot of uncertainty as to what the impact will be.
The Queensland Seafood Industry Association argued against the sweeping restrictions. If the latest draft becomes policy, it will increase protected areas around the Coral Sea from 17,000 square kilometres to nearly 500,000.
Wherever you get compacting of more fishes into a less area, you obviously get a downturn in the income of fishermen. You get less profitable fisheries, and that would be the major concern.
Environmentalists say the Coral Sea holds some of the most diverse species of marine life in Australia, but they're worried while the protected areas look big on a map, they don't include important reefs in between.
The coral reefs we're talking about are on top of beautiful undersea mountains that rise up from those deep waters to the surface. And those beautiful coral reefs have amazing soft corals of all sorts of colours along their walls. They've got sharks, turtles, whales.
These are regions fishermen say they already avoid. Commercial fishermen are warning the federal government to scrutinise the final plan, saying it could end up closing off a valuable and sustainable food source for the nation's growing population.
Australians are going to lose out because they will lose access to, a fairly important food and something that in the future we may all need.
Whatever the outcome, fishermen say prices will rise. Josh Bavis, ABC News.